Burk. He always treated a lady like a respected lady, opening doors, pulling out chairs, giving a coat for her if she was cold, just whatever. I remember one time we were in the creaky woods and there was a big, huge black mud puddle in front of us that there was no way we could get around. And he demanded to carry me across on his back through that mud puddle. And as we got right in the middle of that mud puddle, we both sank deep and fell backwards right in that murky black hole. But we somehow got out of it.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know, he helped with our organization so much, my wheelchair basketball team, and he would go to Myrtle Beach, Miss Helen, and would help with disabled kids, you know, would shot put business javelin, taking pictures. But she's exactly right though. When Burk wouldn't let nobody help you. When he got put in the hospital, I had to sneak in here and mow his yard and clear his woods, and because he would not let me do it when he was there. And he is just had very much pride. But I just want to let y'all guys know that I'm very sorry for all y'all's losses, because he was a wonderful person.
I guess I've never in my life met anyone like Burk. He was one of a kind, and I've never met a kinder soul in my life. And I just hope that all of us can be inspired by the kind of person that he was, and try and be better people, because there's not a better person on earth than Burk. And Monterey and this neighborhood will not be the same without him. Just remember him forever. Thank you.
Burk with a K. What do you say? Park Circle is a brand, and I read a book, and it takes like 3 types of people, and I can't remember 2 of the types, but one was connected, and that was Burk. You know, he connected us all. He's connecting us all right now. I hope we see him and each other every day with the hugs and the nice thoughts and doing things that we don't have to do for each other just because it's the right thing to do.
My first meeting was also at the Modular Pub, the Irish pub down the road, and the first night I walked in there, the first person I met was Jenny Lee, who was just up there, and the second person I met was Burk with a K. And from that night on, every time I would run into Burk, he would say, "You're my friend." And then he would look over at somebody else and say, "They're my friend." And he would grab our hands and put our hands together and say, "Now you guys are friends." And I couldn't...
He loved Montague Avenue from the barbecue joint. He loved Scott and the barbecue joint. He made sure we ate there. No offense to Scott, but I don't like barbecue, but he ate there. And everybody should eat at the barbecue joint. Because they had chicken. I mean, come on now, they had chicken. Evils. He loved the Evils. We ate there. The trifecta. I mean, we got the trifecta. The only thing about Evils was they didn't have Guinness. So we leave there, go to the Monterey. Richard, when Richard was there, Richard, he loved you. I mean, he really did. He talked about you all the time. When you disappeared for a little while there, he worried about you all the time. He'd say, "I haven't seen Richard." And I said, "Well, he'll be back." Sure enough, he came back. I mean, he loved you. You know, from the little grocery store on the corner. I mean, I don't know that gentleman's name, but he would stop in there. I mean, Aunt Bee's, I mean, everything. Johnny's, best cheeseburger in town. I mean, come on now, I mean, Monterey. The last couple of months of his life, I think he kept the pizza place open. I think their sales will go down now. Because it was pizza every night at a pizza place. Men to the mill. I mean, just everything about that street. Everything about Montague Avenue. Everything about Park Circle. Burk loved everything about it.
Burk brought joy to all of us. I can't think of a time when he didn't. And there's a little story about, and I think this sums up who Burk is. I had a little fellow working for me named Robbie. And Robbie was from Goose Creek, and he turned 18 while he was working for me, and Robbie signed up for the Army. And of course, my reaction was, "Are you crazy? You're going to Afghanistan. Moron, what's wrong with you?" Burk, by Robbie working for me, got to know Robbie through me. And Robbie went to boot camp down in Georgia, comes home, and sure enough, he's headed to Afghanistan. So one night, the night before Robbie's leaving for Afghanistan, he's in the pub with us, and Burk finds out he's going, and it freaks Burk out. Burk disappears for 30 minutes. Next thing you know, he comes in with a Bowie knife, about this big, that he carried for years and years. And he handed it to Robbie and said, "Come home and bring me my knife back." 2 tours in Afghanistan and 1 in Iraq, and 2 Purple Hearts later, that boy brought that thing back to Burk. And he got the biggest kick out of knowing that he carried that thing all halfway around the world and back. As a matter of fact, he had to fight his way through customs when he was coming home with it. But he told me, he said, "I told that guy, if I don't bring that back to Burk, I ain't never coming back to North Charleston."
About 3 years ago, Burk found out that I was doing a garden for Clemson Extension over at the fairgrounds. He insisted that I come by his house and pick up some of his rocks. So I went by there, and he must have loaded me down with 800 to 1,000 pounds of rocks that we ended up using in the fairground garden. So now every time you go to the fairgrounds, there's a little bit of Burk up at the Exchange Park Fairgrounds. And I still use his rocks today, and they have a special meaning for me. Love him to death. Here's to Burk with a K.
He was the one who convinced me to move to Park Circle, who convinced me to stay here, where I eventually found my wife and now my permanent home. He was always a great friend, and he wanted to make sure that not only was he a good neighbor and a friend, but everybody else was good neighbors and friends. Burk with a K, that's the way he introduced himself, and that's the way he's going to go out. I love you, man. Rest in peace.
Another part of the story of how Burk was just so generous and caring. Mr. Mike, the little convenience store here in Park Circle, got robbed, and Mr. Mike actually got shot and was in the hospital for about a week with loss of business. Burk was instrumental in helping us organize a fundraiser barbecue. In fact, Burk actually paid for every bit of the meat that was cooked and refused to take a donation from anybody. He also had shirts made for us that said Park Circle Community with Unity highlighted on the back. He was just one hell of a man.
And he was awesome with children. And I think that's why he took to me, is because I work with kids all the time. And he just loved coming to work with me and helping me with the children and the summer camps and the after-school program. He would help build scenery. We did the Grinch That Stole Christmas, and he built all the little houses for the little elves to come running out of. He built those for us, and he made the reindeer for when the dog turned into the reindeer. And I mean, the kids all love him. I mean, he's just going to be sadly missed. He helped out at the ball field by cooking the French fries for the kids to have snack after the ball games. He wouldn't take any money for it, as usual. It was all about giving back to the kids. If he saw a kid in need, like some of the kids where I work, some of them don't have a lot of money. He paid for some of them to go to summer camp. He's bought football equipment so that kids could play football. You know, I mean, if they needed baseball cleats, if their mama was saying, "No, you can't have it, we don't have no money," next thing the baseball cleats would show up. Just happened to be the right size, just happened to be laying there, and he wouldn't take no thanks. He didn't want anybody to know where the stuff came from. His kitchen window wouldn't close. It would be open about 10 inches, even in the wintertime, and it was left open because Burk had a bird living in the kitchen cabinet, which he felt had as much right to live in that kitchen cabinet as he had to live in the house. So all winter long and summer, the window was left open so the bird could come in and out, and build his nest in the kitchen. But that was Burk. He wasn't going to throw that bird out.
When we were young, like 8 or 9 or 10, we lived in Savannah, and we used to go down this little river and a creek, and we used to catch little crawdads. And we loved them so much that we used to sit on the river and put them in a little can that we found and boil them and eat them right on the river. And there's nothing fresher than that. And that's one of the most treasured memories I have of my brother Burk. I love you, Burk.
We got together today to celebrate a wonderful man's life. No words can express how much he touched everyone around here. Just the greatest guy you could ever want to meet. Defended the neighborhood tooth and nail. Nobody could talk bad about the place. Never met a stranger ever. Had all his catch lines. You know, everybody loved Burk for his clicking, you know, Burk with a K and all that stuff. The firmest handshake you've ever felt in your life, and just a genuinely good guy. You know, he would come in here and have 2 beers and have 2 shots and still have a $100 tab, because anybody within 10 feet that ordered a drink, he had to buy their drinks. There was no option, you know. Put that on my tab. He was just that kind of guy. Wanted nothing but good things for this place, and I just never met somebody so adamant on progressing North Charleston and being proud of where he's from. And we're definitely going to miss him. It's a huge portion of Park. Well, it's going to be a huge hole in Park Circle that's not going to get filled for a long time. I hope he's hanging out with Mr. Johnson right now, having a cold one. We're going to miss you, Burk.
You're my friend. And then he would look over at somebody else and say, they're my friend. And he would grab our hands and put our hands together and say, now you guys are friends.